Hey everybody, it's Mr. Magic, and we are back today with an episode of Magical Mail. I've got kind of a big hit today. I've got the collection which I have acquired from a friend that I work with, contained in these two boxes. So here is most of his commons and uncommons sorted by color. And I'm very eager to poke through this. You can tell by, this is the correct orientation. You can tell by the yellowing on the edges of some cards over here that they're quite old. And he's got tokens and things like that separating the colors. So this is all red over here, and I've got, say, like this Eternal Warrior for red, giving vigilance. Very odd red attribute in what looks like maybe fourth edition. It's got a 1995 stamp on it and no set indicator, so I think that's 4th edition. But very cool. Got a Skirk Commando. I remember playing Goblins right after the Onslaught block, and Skirk Commando was super cool. Let's see, we've got a Savage Offensive here. Just kind of scrolling through, got a Hill Giant. That looks like another 4th edition card with the 1995 stamp and no set symbol. Got a really old Wall of Heat from Chronicles. Got a Lightning Hounds in foil from Mercadian Masks. I'm gonna set that out and put that in a sleeve. And there's another one. Sleeve up both of those. That just looks like those old foils were very rare. There weren't foil, back in Mercadian Masks, there weren't foil editions of every card. Got a Furnace Whelp from M13. Got a Spitting Drake there from Visions. Got some blue cards tucked into the side here. Got an old foil Fist of the Anvil from what looks like 10th edition. That's Pete Venter's art, by the way. Pete Venters is the artist for the cool, there's a Click Slither. Oh, these are some rares. Lackalith Titan. There's a Goblin Warstrike, which is just a fun card. Got Mons Goblins. Old Raging Goblin. This brings back so many memories. There's a Kilnmouth Dragon. There's Goblins of the Flarg, another Chronicles reprint out of originally the Dark. Brings back so many memories. There's Blade Sliver. That's cool. I like this. I like this even better than I thought I would. Got a Mountain Goat out of Ice Age. That is an old card. That's so cool. Got a Tor Giant out of Ice Age. Red and 3 for a 3/3. There's been a lot of power escalation since Ice Age for for those of you who don't have a lot of Ice Age cards. Got a Bone Shaman from Ice Age, red 2, for a 3/3 that says pay black, and any creature damaged by Bone Shaman this turn cannot regenerate until end of turn. Kind of an odd ability, but Then we get into some blue cards here. We got Wall of Water, probably from 4th. Wall of Tears from Stronghold. Got an Air Elemental that has got a lot of got a lot of play and some discoloration to it. And you look at the back of that and you just think, okay, somebody played with that Magic card. And that is, I mean, as much as I'm interested in, keeping some of my cards pristine and making sure that they're, that I maintain their collector value, it is also just cool to pull out a card from a collection like this and say, you know what, this is from Mistform Sliver. That's a card I don't think I've ever even seen before. Blue and 1 for a 1/1. All slivers have pay 1, and this creature's type becomes the creature type of your choice in addition to its other types until end of turn. That's pretty cool. Well, anyways, it's just cool to pull out a card and look at it and be like, you know what? Somebody played a lot of Magic, like just on a table or on a sidewalk or whatever, with played a lot of Magic with this particular Magic card. Now here is a Homerids from let's see, that's Alliances and Fallen Kingdom, and these were, I think this was the only cycle where Wizards made the Homerid creature type, and they're kind of a weird creature, but that's a bit of Magic trivia for you. There is such a thing as a Homerid, and Wizards did print them in 1 block, and there you go. Now you know a thing about Magic that maybe you didn't know before. And I'm just kind of flipping through here and seeing what I see. Got getting into the white cards, and I got a Guardian Lions here. Got thought I saw a Sarah Angel, and that poor girl has been printed and printed. Yep, there it is. And printed so many times, but there she is. That's from M13, white, and 3, flying and vigilance. And that was huge. Like we don't, as modern Magic players, we don't think anything of a creature that has flying and vigilance. We're like, yeah, and what else? And but back then, that was a big deal. Look at this. Look at this 4th edition Healing Salve. How off center that particular card was. Like you can look at this edge compared to this one, this edge compared to this one, and that's just, I don't know, there's just something cool about that to me. And you look at the back of that and you see, okay, yeah, my buddy, he played a lot of Magic with that particular Healing Salve. So I don't know, that's just a cool thing. There's a lot of nostalgia. There's a lot of memories in a box like this. Here I've got an old Shatter. For some reason we're getting back into some red cards. But I actually had this exact art and printing of Shatter in my Goblin deck that I played years and years ago, and it's just cool to look back and see that card now. There's an old Meteor Shower that's been played a lot, XX red, and it deals X+1 damage divided any way you choose among any number of target creatures and or players. It's just, like I said, we look back on some of these and we're like, oh, there's been so much There's been so much going on. Oh, here's a Raised Dead. Look at that. That is a cool card. Return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. That is a very cool card. And this is just the this is just his like stuff that he didn't feel like was worth any money. That's what this this box is. And it's, admittedly, some of the stuff that we've grabbed and pulled out here is not worth a ton, but there's just a nostalgia in it as a guy who was playing, like I was playing in the Onslaught, Scourge, Mirrodin block, and I had cards that were considerably older than that, and then come back into the game. I was, let's see, I came back into the game like 2-3 years ago now, and and it's just so cool to look back on cards like this. Here's Words of Binding. This is 4th edition from the 1995 stamp and no set symbol, and we look at a card like that now and we say that's so off color. It says it's black X and tap X target creatures. That's that's a blue card. But Magic was a lot younger back then, and the color pie wasn't as established as it is now. And so it's just cool to to see that process developing, where we're like, oh, now we're learning about, or rather, Wizards was learning what the different colors would do, and I don't know, that's just cool to me to look back and see that process grow and develop. Got the very old printing of the Kumbaji Witches, Chronicles reprinting from Arabian Nights. Getting into some green cards. Now this is a player who played a lot, and I mean a lot, of elf stuff. So I'm sure as I look through this, I'm gonna see a ton. Here's a cool looking Rampant Growth from way back in Mirage. But I'm sure I'm gonna run into a ton of elf stuff as I work through this. The other thing that's just really, really cool about this is, since he has already sorted these by color, it kind of gives me a starting point for sorting my own collection by color, because I literally have hundreds of pounds of what you'd call bulk like this that is not sorted at all, and something that I've just really got to do and to get onto. And we're getting into some elves. I got an Elvish Path Cutter, another Elvish Path Cutter, and maybe that was all the elves. Got a Wirewood Channeler. I remember playing him. Oh, that's so good. Add X mana of any one color to your mana pool, where X is the number of elves in play. Yeah, that's busted. That's still busted. Printed in Scourge and is still broken. Got a Sky Shroud Archer here. Target creature with flying gets -1/-1 till end of turn. Anyways, and I don't know, there's just a lot of nostalgia. Here's an old card, Hurricane, for green and X, deals X damage to each creature with flying and each player. How's that for mono green burn for you? Got a quick sliver there. May play slivers at any time you can play instants. That's pretty cool. And it's a sliver that I run in my in my sliver deck. There's the original Zendikar, Arbor Elf, untap target forest. You can do some pretty broken things with that, actually. It's a combo piece. I think we're getting into artifacts back here. Got an old rune sword that is both off-center as we look at the width of this margin and this margin versus these two. Illustrated by Chris Rush, artist for the infamous Black Lotus and the old school lightning bolts, and who in recent years passed away, sadly. This is Chronicles, reprinting from the Dark. Got a Dark Steel pendant. I remember when the Dark Steel set came out, Indestructible, and look at the top card of your library. You can put it on the bottom of your library. So that's from way back before scry was a keyword. Here is a blue mana battery from 4th edition. Just a lot of cool cards in the history of Magic. And you know, I would encourage you guys to, here's a cool card. Anytime I see Phyrexian mana, I take a look at it. Thundering Tantodon. It's a 5/4 for 2 green Phyrexian and then 4. That just seems cool to me. That should actually go among the green cards and bump him over there. And this is a lot of lands, but some of them are very old. Like that's a 4th edition swamp. That's very cool. Like at some point I might pull out some of these, and that's a 6th edition mountain. But yeah, at some point I may pull out some of these and do like a full retro. That's a 4th edition mountain. That is an Ice Age mountain. That's a revised mountain. That's another 4th edition. That's just so cool to me. I love the old lands. I would love to take my Kiki Jiki deck and do just all revised mountains in that deck. And I feel like that would be super cool. But I'm gonna scoop all these boys and tuck them back in here. I feel like that's a different kind of flair or style or whatever. There's a 4th edition island. That's so cool. Love those old. Leave something in the comments if you love the old mountains, or all the old lands rather, not just mountains, but all the old lands. There is an M13 Goblin token. Back when I was playing in Mirrodin, they hadn't started printing tokens yet. That looks like, oh, I don't know, maybe the original Innistrad, I'm thinking. That's so cool. Oh, there's a Bojuka Bog. Oh, look at that Bojuka Bog from OG Zendikar. So cool. Old angelic voices. I remember Auriok Transfixer from, I remember pulling that in packs when Mirrodin was just printed. There's a Tempest Pacifism. Pacifism's been printed like 100 times, but yeah, this is just cool to me. I'm so glad to have this. I'm pulling that out. That is a foil Rain of Blades from Scourge. Deals 1 damage to each attacking creature. That's a cool thing to have. There's an Onslaught Cloudreach Cavalry. Yeah, I'm grabbing all these old foils. That is another Onslaught Daru Stinger. Yeah, some cool guys there. Cool guys. Foils back then were a much bigger deal than they are now. There weren't. You didn't get a foil in every pack. You know, the drop rate on foils was a lot for. Well, that's just kind of a glance at this gentleman's bulk, and let's take a moment to look at some of the stuff that he thought was on the more valuable end. And so I have gone and looked at some of this stuff beforehand and kind of set out a few things. We'll come to those in a minute, but we got a Goblin Artisans, Alabaster Dragon, Old Urza's Power Plant, original Dark Steel foil, Genesis Chamber. There's an old foil Stabilizer, can't cycle. Curse of Misfortune, Stony Silence, Blackmail. Swords to Plowshares from Ice Age. Promo Knight Templar. Secret Lair, actually. There's an old Sarah Angel. That's 4th edition. Mountain Yetis from Chronicles. Fire Drake from Chronicles. Arctic Merfolk from Portal. Decree of Silence. I love Decree of Silence. Training Grounds is a cool card. That's like a $20 card. In fact, I'm going to set out the Decree of Silence and the Training Grounds. Goblin Flotilla. Had Island Walk. There's a Gitaxian Probe. Blue Sun Zenith. That's a good card. Goblin Recruiter. How many times have you seen me play that? Revised Swords to Plowshares. Tormod's Crypt. Red Elemental Blast. Oh man, I'm going to grab that Red Elemental Blast just because that should go in like my Kiki-Jiki deck and my Krenko Mob Boss deck. Another Krenko Mob Boss. Gut Shot. Teferi's Ageless Insight. The Dripping Dead is foil from back in Scourge. Ancient Hellkite. Ring of Thune. And then this guy was big into, or actually he still is big into Arena. So with the M21 set, he bought a lot of the Planeswalker decks that had the Arena promo code. So there's Basari, Devoted Paladin. This is a special promo Liliana Vess. There's the M11 Liliana. There's Ashiok from Theros Beyond Death. Rowan from Throne of Eldraine. Kavu Lair. There's the super cool Solemn Simulacrum. I love that one. Malakir Bloodwitch is a very good card. Garruk Wild Speaker. Old Underground River. Painland from 6th edition. Look at that. Llanowar Wastes from I can't remember the symbol. That's killing me. But Adakar Wastes. That's, what is that? Is that, I don't know this set. It's got a 97 stamp, but no set symbol there. That is so bizarre. Promo Immaculate Magistrate. 4th edition Lightning Bolt by Chris Rush. Chandra Flames Catalyst and Garruk Savage Herald. Just some super cool stuff right there. Super cool stuff. So glad to add to my collection. Let's I cannot scoop that. There we go. I'm gonna throw those right there. let's grab a few of these. Got all kinds of stuff. Got Spellgorger Weird and Shivan Dragons. Who doesn't own a ton of Shivan Dragons, right? Poultrygeist and Handcuffs. Gotta love those goofy silver border cards. Jungle Shrine. Old Evolving Wilds. I think that was one of the Eldrazi sets, I think. Old Terramorphic Expanse. There are some very old attempts at multicolor lands here, as you know, Wizards printed the original duels in revised, Alpha Beta Unlimited revised, and they've kind of pulled back from that. And they're like, that was too good. There's Saltmarsh. Mirrodin Core is cool. I remember pulling that in packs. But then Wizards has had this like continual thing since then, where it's like they're constantly trying to balance the player's desire to play fast with, an attempt to maintain the value of the original dual lands and their uniqueness within the game. And that's a tough thing to deal with. Got some cool dragons there. Blister Spit Gremlin, Stormcaller, Arsonist. Yeah, some cool stuff there. No doubt. But you guys have been patient with me, and we're going to get into the things that I flagged out as being like, oh goody kinds of stuff. So we start with an Armageddon, and this Armageddon has actually got a little water damage on it from somebody drinking and playing at the same table. Then got an old Enlightened Tutor from 6th edition. That's a first in my collection. He had a full playset of City of Brass. So Chronicles, 7th, Chronicles, and Chronicles. And those were kind of my first City of Brass. It's like he and I were ironing out this deal at the same time that some of you saw me pull this City of Brass from a Double Masters 2022 pack. So, anyways, then got a Spellskite there. That is just a gem, fun little card. Ball Lightning, Mystic Remora, like all the Spellskites, Ball Lightning, Mystic Remora, all that's new to my collection. Wrath of God is one that I did not own, and as you can tell, it is a very dirty card. It's got played a lot. Crusade is a card that it's not cool to own anymore, and so I definitely want to own one. This poor Mana Vault looked like another victim of water damage. I just want to pull this out so you guys can see how warped that bad boy got. It's not my first Mana Vault, and it won't be my last. I'm looking to acquire a signed Mana Vault because I've got quite a few signed Tedden cards at this point, but got some Howling Mines. Love the Howling Mines. Got Mox Opal, and that's fun for me because now I have Mox Opal from Mirrodin Besieged. I have Mox Opal from Modern Masters 2, and I have Mox Opal from Double Masters. So that's cool to me. One of the other interesting things about the Mox Opal, if you've ever like paid attention to the difference between this one and this one. We've got, the Mox is constant, but this is the plane of Mirrodin. This is Mirrodin besieged. So like in the lore of Magic, the Mirrodin besieged block goes back to the plane of Mirrodin, and the Phyrexians are coming to infect the artifact plane of Mirrodin. And so we have, these biomechanical hands holding the Mox in this artificial setting. And it says the sons of Mirrodin have shown upon perfection only once. Well, then we have what look like Phyrexian hands, with the needle point fingers, and this background that looks like both the background and the holder have been through the Phyrexian completion process. And then the flavor text at the bottom says, what crossed her mind defied orthodoxy. Could there be perfection beyond completion? And so it's interesting within the lore of Magic that the Mox was not completed. The realm or the plane of Mirrodin was completed, and this holder of the Mox was completed, but the Mox itself was a mana source and it wasn't completed, and that was just something I thought was pretty cool. But we don't know. Are those the hands of Sheladrin? Are they the hands of Elesh Norn? We don't really know. There's another Tormod's Crypt. This is a Null Rod. That is a huge hit out of this set here. Another Serra Angel. It's an old Dark Ritual from 4th and a Dark Ritual from Revised. And so as you're looking through your cards, say, how do I tell the difference between 4th and Revised? Because neither one has a set symbol. Now, this is a great example of how to do that. The print run, the ink used in 4th is darker than the ink used in Revised. The typeface in the 2 is different. 4th has a date and Revised does not. Those are some key differences between the printing of 4th edition and Revised. So there's Serra Angel again. Oh wait, I'm moving from this stack. Then we got Teferi Timeless Voyager, Dark Ritual, very very cool Dark Ritual to go with all of our others. This is from Ice Age, and then of course Teferi Timeless Voyager, and to top it all off, Necropotence. And that is not my first Necropotence. Probably won't be my last Necropotence, but this is probably my capstone Necropotence. Probably my favorite Necropotence. I have been as frustrated as you guys about Magic's 30th anniversary, and when I logged, I found out about the Magic 30th Secret Lair going on sale. I found out the day after it went on sale, and by that point it was already sold out, and people were already scalping it on eBay, and that was so disappointing to me. Necropotence did get a new treatment and a new art in that Secret Lair, and I really would have liked to acquire that Secret Lair, but I don't know if I'll do that at the elevated scalpers prices. So anyways, guys, this collection, I'm by no means done looking through it, but I just wanted to share some of the highlights and some of the experience with you guys. This is just such a blast to own some of this. There's a lot of Magic history in these boxes, and for those of you that don't have, I got a friend that played 20 years ago or 30 years ago, and and he's selling his cards. And for those of you that don't have those kinds of acquaintances, you know, this, you at least get to share a little bit vicariously with what I've been able to do here. And so as I continue to acquire Magic cards, I will continue to share with you guys. And having some friends over tomorrow to play some Commander, so we'll tape some of that. And I hope you guys are enjoying these videos. Please, you know, interact in the comments section. It encourages me. It promotes the video on YouTube's algorithm. If you think I'm doing a good job, tell me. If you think I'm doing a bad job and you have some advice for me, please tell me. You know, I just I make these videos for you guys, for those of you that are watching them, and it's encouraging and it's enriching to see your comments and things like that. So I hope you all have a fantastic day, and this is Mr. Magic out.